YouTubers, my name is Luke, and this is the first video on my channel. It's just to kind of gauge interest from the community, see if people are interested in what I've got going on. One of the most recent projects is this car behind me. It's a 2013 McLaren MP4-12C, which does not look like one because I could not find all the original parts. So the front end is actually just aftermarket from China parts for a 650S. I got this from the original owner. She lived out in California, and she told me a story on this car. It's a pretty sad story, honestly. But her and her husband had custom built this car. It was right around $100,000 in options leaving the factory, and then more stuff was added afterwards. But so sticker price for this car was $310,000. She kept every original document since before they even got the car, everything for the whole ordering process. Unfortunately, her husband had passed away, so it was just her. She had the vehicle detailed when she was living in California, and the detailer would not give her the car back. And they ended up using it to promote their business. They're driving it around, and they actually got into a hit and run. They tried to take off and got into another accident and left the car. They stole the keys, or the first key, and a few other things, ran away, disappeared, renamed the business. She was not able to get anything out of that detailer. And even though she had all the information on them, California would not pursue. That happened. The car was impounded. When it was taken from the impound over to a shop to get estimates, the tow truck driver actually stole the second key, along with floor mats, the vanity plate that was on the car. I think there was a few other bits, anything they could pretty much just pull out of the car that was just unsecured. That was all gone. Fortunately, the books and stuff, I still have those. I believe she said they weren't in the car or they were under the seat. So it was a pretty weird situation with this car. And when she left California, it was a salvage rebuildable certificate. And with leaving the state, they wanted her to bring it in for, I believe it was a light and brake test and possibly emissions to get a rebuilt title. But of course, the car was in no condition for that. And she had no keys anyway, so you're not turning it on, you're not doing anything with it, even if it had life. So they rebranded the title. Once again, they had her sign off to eliminate the salvage brand and switch it over to a non-repairable certificate. And that was just to be able to leave the state, I guess. It's a pretty weird situation, but as far as the records, it was double branded. So it had both a junk on top of a salvage rebuildable. And I believe that's how I was able to reverse this title situation. Also because, I used a lot of cheap parts. So when I sent in paperwork to the DMV here, it was way below the value of the car for the amount of money I put into it. As far as a rebuilt status, I think they approved it pretty quickly due to my repairs and the overall estimate of the car versus those repairs, and the fact that it was previously a salvage rebuildable before they was tacked on with the junk. So they were able to reverse all that. It took half a year of working with, at least directly with headquarters, half a year. I had tried working with the local DMVs. Don't even bother. Not worth your time. At least not in South Carolina, they have no clue. This was a bit of a gamble, which is the reason for the low price. And also, she did not want, it had a lot of sentimental value, this car, to her, since it was a one-off build for her and her husband. They had a friend who was, I believe, chief of design. Perhaps she can come on the channel at some point and kind of elaborate on it. And she brought this idea up, at least, for bringing up the channel. So I'm sure she'd love to. She's very excited to see the car. And I'm excited for her to see the car. But I was the only one who was willing to rebuild it, so everyone else wanted to part it out. This was my first full-on build like this, and I think it turned out quite well. So it's not finished yet, but it's getting there. Former postal employee here, so not exactly swimming in money here. So we're kind of inching away as we go. But this has been a dream build, and I figured I'd share it with you all. Y'all didn't think I would end it on a note like that, did you? Turn your sound up and get ready, because this is the first test drive of the McLaren.